Welcome to KSU Nation. My name is Ken, and I am here doing a video that I didn't think I was going to have to do, a video that I didn't think I was going to do. But here I am. And it is the year of our Lord, December 31st, 2024. And this will probably be the last time that I ever make a video apologizing to the BYU fans for picking against them once again. I am sorry for choosing Colorado to win the game. I am going to eat crow for that. Listen, both teams, I thought this was going to be a competitive game. I mean, I'm being dead serious. I thought that this was going to be a competitive game, and it wasn't even close. I didn't even get to see this game. I watched the game. I didn't get to see it live, I should say. But I went back and I watched the highlights. I watched about half of the game in its full context. Oh my goodness. Dude, Colorado didn't have a chance, dude. They didn't have a chance. Oh, man. And I am apologizing mainly because I've always thought that the BYU team this season was just, the ball was just bouncing their way. And I just thought, you know what? Eventually it's got to stop. And I never really gave them the credit that they deserve. But after witnessing everything that has happened this season, BYU deserves the credit. Okay. They're actually a very good football team, and they've got talent across the board. It's not just one or two players. Yes, there was a little bit of magic that happened. We can't deny it, but it doesn't matter as long as you don't, if you don't capitalize on it, then it doesn't matter. And that's exactly what they did. They were given great opportunities to win football games, and they took it and ran with it. And they executed on a lot of great opportunities. And this was another one. Colorado, they were also a good football team. But when you came against BYU, they didn't have a chance. It was actually something that I had said in the original podcast. I said, BYU's kind of had the short end of the stick in terms of recognition from a national standpoint. There was a whole YouTube that I had watched about it, and that was a really entertaining video. I got to figure out where that video is, or what, like, I got to find that video again. But it was very informative, and it talked about BYU over the years, like way over the years. I think since back in like the early 90s or even before then. And BYU has always been a team that has sort of, been looked at as a, more of like an underdog team, a team that, oh yeah, that's cool. They have their little football over there, but that's nothing to really, that's not like a blue blood school or whatever. But over the years, they've proven that they're a solid team, and this is just another one of those years that they had to prove it yet again to fans like me who never watched BYU football before this year. And I'm glad I did. I'm honestly super glad I got a good dosage of BYU football. I mean, it was honestly a breath of fresh air, because they're a team that is fun to watch. I mean, look at Arizona State, right? Arizona State is also another one of those teams that I didn't really watch too much of before this year. And I can honestly say they are a team that is fun to watch. Both of these schools coming into the Big 12, I was skeptical. But I can't deny it. I have to admit when I'm wrong. I have to admit when I see greatness, when I see entertainment, when I see good football teams. I'm not going to be that kind of fan of college football that just hides his eyes, when there's cool things going on, when there's great things that are happening on the football field, when there's actually good talent on the field. I'm not going to be a guy that just puts his hands over his eyes and goes, no, 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 no. Puts his hands over his ears like, no, no, no. There's not really a good team out there. It's all just fake. No, no, no. Like there was real talent out there, and it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. And honestly, between BYU and Colorado, again, I've already mentioned this earlier. For those who are just now joining, I am very sorry that I picked Colorado to beat BYU. But in my defense, I didn't want to pick this game anyway. I know that's a cop-out. I didn't want to pick this game because I thought both teams are really good. When I watched the way that the end of the season happened for Colorado when they beat, again, totally different teams. Colorado, when they beat Oklahoma State, I'm like 52-0. Yikes. And I saw BYU struggle. And I'm like, maybe things are different now. Maybe like the momentum, with Travis Hunter winning, maybe the momentum has kind of swung in Colorado's favor. Maybe that was going to give them the edge. Turns out didn't even matter. Turns out none of that even mattered. BYU, then they wanted to make a statement. And by God, they made a statement. And I wanted to set the record straight. We're going to end 2024 on KSU Nation. Okay? We're going to end 2024 with a video apologizing to the BYU fans. We're going to set the record straight, all right? We're going to give them the credit that they deserve because Lord knows ESPN ain't going to give them credit. Lord knows that BYU is not going to get the credit that they deserve. They deserve their credit. They are a team that is here to stay. They're going to be amongst the top teams in the Big 12. And I think everybody just needs to get used to that. Okay? Including myself, of course. And from here on out, I don't think I'm going to be picking against BYU, at least in the near future. At least not in the near future. Okay? Now, let me give you a little exception though. Okay? I'm a K-State fan. So I'm probably going to pick Now listen. If K-State was like looking like the worst team in the conference and BYU was looking like the best team in the conference, I would probably be more realistic and say, okay, BYU, you guys have it. But when they're comparable in their strength, like BYU fans would even say K-State, in terms of like on paper, they're comparable. They're both solid football teams. And even if let's say BYU might have a better percentage of winning, but I don't think it would be a crazy favorite of maybe like a few points, they would say to K-State fans, like, look, it's fine that you're picking K-State. That's not like a crazy thing to think of, but if we were like a 2 or 3 touchdown underdog, then people would be like, all right, you're delusional for picking K-State to win this game. So in the future, I'm probably going to pick BYU to win every game that they play next year until they prove otherwise. They're going to win every single game unless it's against my team, K-State. Okay. I'll throw Arizona State in there. I think that's a toss-up game. And I'll throw in Baylor because I really think Baylor is going to be a great team next year. But other than that, I just don't see how you can pick against BYU anymore. They have proven time and time again. And let's be clear here. Let's be clear. I've been pretty generous with BYU. Okay. I've been watching them all year, and I've actually been on the right side of picking them a lot of the times on this channel. But this was the one that I knew it's gonna be one of those moments. It was either gonna be me or Stevie that was gonna be here talking to you guys, and you got me. Okay, you got me instead of Stevie, because Stevie, he chose the right one. He chose the right team, and I think it's because maybe BYU burned Steve a little bit too much over the year. I think Stevie might have gotten burned one or two times more than me on picking against BYU, and so I was due to make a bad decision. Look, I'm not perfect, all right? I'm not perfect, BYU, but nevertheless, BYU, I'll say it one last time, to end the year, I apologize. I'm sorry. And I am probably not going to pick against you unless it's against K-State, Arizona State, and I'll throw in Baylor, because I think those are going to be the top 4 teams of next season. And it's going to be fun. Now, I can't remember if I saw on the schedule. I don't think BYU is playing K-State next year. So at least you'll have a guaranteed me not picking BYU, or not me picking against BYU, at least in one game. Okay. And I know you guys can understand, but as for now, BYU, you guys were legit this year. Oh man. And I loved it. And I love all I love all the fans that watch the show, and I love all the BYU fans that show up to the games. Your passion is awesome. It's fans like you and programs like BYU that make college football fun. Okay. They make college football so much fun to watch and be around. And I'm just glad that we got you in this conference so we can continue to talk about this team. And I'm going to do myself a favor and go to my refrigerator, find a nice big slice of humble pie, and heat it up a little bit. I like my pie a little bit warm. Sprinkle a little whipped cream on top. Take a little chunk on a fork, and I'm just going to serve myself a nice big chunk of humble pie. I'm just going to eat it. Just going to eat it all day today. I'm going to eat that whole big slice of humble pie alongside my champagne, because it is New Year's Eve, and I want to just send you guys off with a happy new year. I will see you guys next year, 2025, the year of K-State, as I had said all year long, but I know BYU is going to have something to say about it. So I'm going to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely nobody